best grooming products for you, for you. That's all natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be a swagger, swagger, style, class, and luxury, luxury. Make our products that are made for you with high quality, yeah. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company, grooming company, to give you swagger, swagger, style, class, and luxury, in luxury, yeah. The black, gentleman, black, yeah. Company, give you swagger, swagger, style, class, and luxury, in luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Answering the Bell with Stormybman, our Sunday morning call-in show for this Sunday, December 29th, 2024. This is the last call-in for the year of 2024. This is number 147 in the series of call-ins. And we are here with the subject of the year 2024 was great in boxing. Yeah. Want to say welcome everybody who has decided to get up and listen and possibly participate in the show for this morning. Listen, what I'd like to do today is just take some calls and allow us to discuss what we really enjoyed about 2024. Of course, there have been some disappointments, but that's not what the focus is. We're going to focus on the positive. We're going to focus on the elevation of the sport of boxing that has transpired in the year of 2024, as we have seen tremendous events, tremendous competitive matches, people who have gone from no one to someone, people who have made comebacks. If you guys saw my Friday night show, it was my year-end awards show. One of my best shows, because we got a chance to talk about a lot of those things then. But this Sunday, we want to hear from you guys. What moved you all? That's what this show is about. Participation. You know, in a participation trophy society, we don't get enough of that with this show. We need more. And we hope that in the year 2025, you will be compelled to participate a little bit more. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. You know, being a part of things, not being separated from things, being a part of. It's very important to be included, but it's more important to be counted, have value, where people will take note of you and your participation. That's important. You know what I'm saying? And just know that 2025 is kicking off with a bang. So if you're not ready, you could be left at the starter's line. That's not a place you want to be, huh? You want to keep pace, keep up with the opportunities. So that's what we're here for this morning. Hope you're ready. We're going to hit that roll call in just a moment. see who we got in the building. The general, the founder of the LDBC, is in the building early this morning saying, good morning, family. Good morning to you, my brother. Camaron Fields is out there saying, peace and blessings, Stormy. Same to you. Anthony Bolton is in the building this morning. What's happening with you? Saying salute. My brother, Supreme Beast Boxing Talk, is in the building saying salute, Sensei. Kano Local TV is in the building saying salute to all. Hashtag LDBC. Yes, sir. Kano Loco has been dropping some interviews over there on his channel. He's back on the grind, and it's great to see. Mind of Mansa Musa is back with us saying salute to the wise one, the Sensei. Yeah! And what up, family? That's right. Who else we got out here? We got Freedom's March in the building. What's happening with you? And Boxing and Barbecue is back. Saying morning, Stormy. Salute to you. Yeah. So, without much delay, man, we're going to open that line up this morning. See what y'all got to talk about. What you got to talk about, man? Hit it up and let's talk the year 2024 in boxing. Let's see what we got here. I want to do a quick test, make sure the line is working. Yep, it's working. That was me testing the line, making sure that it's available for you guys. What's happening? My brother Willie Lowe is in the building this morning. Salute to you, Willie. How you doing? Happy holidays to you, brother. Haven't seen you in a minute. What's going on? Glad to see everybody. Yeah. Massage that like button as you come into the building, people. .503 Lion is in the building. What's happening with you, man? I see you out there. He says, happy holidays, OG, and salute to the chat. Jimmy Bernard is in the building saying, what's good, Sensei? Salute to the chat. Yes, sir. J-Man just sneaking in. Top of the morning. What's happening, man? Willie Lowe says, just chilling with Champ, handling life, business, and making moves, brother. Happy New Year's as well, and glad to see you, family. Yes, sir. Tell the Champ I said, what's up, man? Tell him I said, what's up? You know the Champ knows that on this channel, almost all of my my live streams, with the exception of like Nerds on Culture, anything to do with boxing, I always find a place and a space to feature the Champ in there because he's worth it. You know what I'm saying? A worthy man and worthy of the consideration. So there'll always be some acknowledgement around these parts for Champ. Yes, sir. Eric Jordan, I see you out there. What's happening with you? Good to see you this morning as well. So let's talk about it, man. We got some stuff coming up 2025, but this is a final chance on this show to kick in about what we've enjoyed about 2024, huh? There she is. Shawala is in the building saying Grand Rising, Stormy B-Man, what's good? B-Mac, where you been? I see you out there. Yeah. I know it's a little early. Some people don't like to get on the phone too early, but you know what? This show right here, you get to calling and talking about boxing, it immediately opens up your pores, huh? You just can't wait to talk good boxing, man. That's what it's all about. Get out here and open up those pores. Salute to the brother Freedom's March out there with that super chat / Cash App donation. Says, for well-deserved support. Amen. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Now I call it super chat / Cash App because, you know, that comes to me. YouTube and Google don't get no sticky fingers in on that. So thank you. Much appreciated, huh? Somebody always trying to stick their hand in your pockets, huh? We ain't having it. Not. And there are alternatives. There's a scrolling at the bottom of my screen there. I know the print is a little tiny, but it's in the description box as well. There's a link for the Cash App, and there's a link for the PayPal for those who would like to support the channel. And there's also access in the description box toward the merchandise for the channel. There's 2 links, one for A Weapons. You just type in Stormy at A Weapons site. You follow that link, type in Stormy in all caps, and the brother Midlife Music has done some wonderful things helping to promote that Stormy B-Man merchandise brand. A lot of the designs are by him. It's a wonderful thing going on over there. Then there's the Streamlabs link for the original Stormy B-Man merchandise, where you can get a host of items there, such as even what I'm wearing this morning, my Stormy B-Man hoodie. So we got the links out there for you guys. Thank you, Shower. Shower is posting links in the chat to assist for people who are a little lazy and don't want to feel their way around, huh? And so Shower's putting those links in the chat for you, huh? That's y'all that wanted to look at somebody else's paper in class. You want, hey, can I copy yours? No, you can't copy mine. I'm failing my damn self. You want to fail too, huh? Copying. Yeah. So, Camara says, yes, my family loves the merchandise. Yeah, that's what's up. See, Camara, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? You can, hey, listen, if you want, you can take a photo with your family wearing the gear and send it to my Gmail, and I'll post it on the community page. In fact, anybody want to display their merchandise who purchased Stormy B-Man merchandise already, send it to me in my Gmail, and I'll post you guys on the community page. Because we're a community, huh? That's right. And there's unity in community, right? Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. That's a great way to start the new year off, with the merchandise, with everybody that support, that bought something. I don't care if it's a hat. I don't care if it's a coffee mug. You could be standing up there drinking your morning Java or that spiked Irish coffee. You know what I'm saying? and take a photo and let Stormy get it, and I'll post it on the community page. Cause that's how we get down around these parts. Yeah. Supreme B says, we can't both have the same wrong answers. They're gonna know we cheat. Two dummies sitting up there cheating off of each other's page. There you go. Tequila's out there saying, Stormy, I'm driving. That's what's up, man. Be careful out there on the roads, Tequila. Be careful. Y'all remember, it was always somebody in class doing that, right? Yeah. Hey, what's the answer to number 7? Like, man, if you don't get away from me. Hey, let me see your homework. I remember those days like they were yesterday. Yeah. Salute to the brother Eric Jordan out there in the Cash App. He says, for supporting my sensei. I appreciate that, Eric Jordan, man. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support. Yeah. And if anybody's donating to PayPal, just let me know, because I have to go over and pull that page up if there's a PayPal donation. So, yeah. There was a couple of purchases made last week, and I didn't get a chance to acknowledge them on the air, but we had Streamlabs merchandise purchase, and then Universal Truth on the 21st had donated to the PayPal. So Universal, if you're out there, if you didn't tell me, I didn't catch it while I was on the air, I'm acknowledging your PayPal donation, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah. Camara says, I just played dead, blind, and mute when they were trying to get my attention. Yeah, when deaf, blind, and mute. Yeah, when they trying to copy off your paper. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. I didn't do mine. I didn't do my homework. You know what I mean? It's like you mess around and everybody be failing in the class. That's crazy. I Am Legend Boxing is in the building. He says, I let a guy cheat, then I changed all my answers, played him foul. Hey, and he probably thought you was dumb. I Am Legend. You pull that move on him, and he's sitting up there thinking you dumb. That big dummy. I Am Legend let him cheat off his paper. He said, hey, is that all of them? Yeah, that's all of them. He said, we good? You said, yeah, we good. And I Am Legend was in the cut like this, y'all. He was laying back in the cut like this. I Am Legend. He let dude cheat off his paper. He was like, shit. He cheating off of I Am Legend paper. He was like, I got all the answers, man. That fool, he studied all night long, and now I got the answers. I Am Legend was like this.
Shit, got your ass.
Hey, that's what you get. That's what you get for not studying, fool. Left back 3 times. Got a beard in the 8th grade. Oh man. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, right. And then, listen, and then when the teacher was on the chalkboard, he was standing up there like this.
As you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Yeah! You see? Yeah! Yeah! Coming in there, trying to copy off of somebody else's work, man. Trying to copy off of somebody else's work.
Fool ass earth man.
Mm-hmm.
Every move is calculated. I do numbers calculated. You don't got my cash or payment, pussy boy, I'ma catch you later. Rhyme with that soul.
I'm in a good mood today. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Come on, y'all. The lines is open. Let's talk some boxing already. You know what I'm saying? Oh. Yeah. Oh, Shower, you ain't seen that one yet? That dog was going to town on the air. Literally, air pumps. Oh, horny ass dog. What the hell? The first time I saw that shit, I was like, he been watching his master too much. I was like, man, what is really going on here? Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Salute to the brother KG, just popped up in the building. That's my brother there. Hey, the good doctor, why don't you call in, man, so we can chop it up, get it kick-started, because I see people a little hesitant, huh? Everybody got their hand on their holster, but they realized they didn't put no bullets in the chamber, so they can't come. So come on, KG. Hit the line up, bro. Let's kick off this boxing talk. Man. Come on, listen, guys. Come on now. this the last call in of the year. Yeah, Shaw, we talking today's show is just the year 2024 was great in boxing. Call in and talk about what you loved about, 2024. We ain't talking about what you didn't like because, your list on what you didn't like is bigger than the list of what you like because people just naturally inclined to complain, huh? And we ain't trying to hear the complaints, huh? There's HR where you could go report your complaints. Stormy ain't got no HR. Yeah. Complain. Oh, my porridge is too hot. My porridge is too cold. My porridge is not enough. My porridge is too much. Man, if you don't get the hell out of here with that shit. Try it again, Mojave Nation. Try it again. It only rang 2 times on my end before I could even get to it. Try it again. I'd be like Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon when he was hitting that student on the head. Try again. Shower says, Stormy woke up with violence again. Hey, you know you love violence. You watch too much boxing to not like it. So don't even try to hide behind the shield, huh? You probably be sitting up there in front of the TV throwing punches for the fighter who ain't punching enough for you. Your Shaw would be sitting up there. Hit it, throw the hook, fool. Throw the hook. All right, we got 651 in the building. I believe that's the brother, Abel Mahari. What's going on with you, man? How you feel this morning? Happy holidays.
Clay Davis, what's going on?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm chilling, bro. I had a good holiday, spending time with the family, you know what I'm saying? And you know what, though, for 2025, I'm giving you, I'm going to say it officially. You are officially Clay Davis of the LDBC. Mr. Clay Davis. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the good mannerism there too, and the tone is actually works out for you very well. What you think, huh?
You got some boxing you want to talk about, man?
All right. Enough of the jokes. Okay, so let me start this out by saying this. I think this year we had some good matchups this year, and we did have some some surprising moments and some things that were revealed in boxing that that we didn't know about, but we know about. But the thing that really still irks my mind is that boxing right now is, I would say boxing right now is in a phase right now where I believe that in my personal view, it's in a transitional phase where now fans are tired of waiting for fights to happen that we want, and now they're just facing saying, hey, we're not buying your pay-per-view until you give us the fight we want, a.k.a. Tank Davis. So, to me, my Stormybman, I was just watching most of my fights on the computer because I could not, accept the fact that boxing today is just really they're just started, the establishment of boxing is just basically insulted our faces. And they keep insulting us, and I just don't appreciate being insulted at. And, at the end of the day, until they give us the fights we want, I'm not spending a dime. Fuck y'all. So, that's how I feel about it. What you think, sir?
Well, first of all, for your opening comment and for what you just said, F+, get your ass to the back of the class, because I said before you called in, we're not complaining today. We're not hosting a conversation on what you didn't like about boxing. So F+ to you for not listening, okay? Your listening skills is in the dumpster, okay? Second of all, okay, what I said was, we're going to have a discussion on what was great, what you enjoyed about the boxing in 2024. And I also said that Stormybman don't have no HR for your complaints. So what the hell is wrong with your ears, man? Huh? They big enough? Huh? Well, I don't understand this. Now, you done really shifted my mindset on this, because with the first call, you call fucking up 2 times. Okay? Yeah, you. Because you had a chance to come in here correct, and you came in here moonwalking frontwards.
All right. I apologize. Okay, let me try this again, since I already got myself an F+ on the first exam. Okay, here's what I did like about boxing this year. I did like about the fact that Tyson Fury got exposed as the fraud that he is. And the fact of the matter is that he was never really a true legendary heavyweight in my view. And so I was happy that Usyk put Tyson Fury's 10 feet underneath the dirt and showed everybody that without cheating and without resorting to illegal tactics, that he's nothing more than an average, ordinary fighter. And to me, here's what I think too. When I was listening to your show with you Chain and with Hack Reacher a couple of days ago, and I do think that Usyk, if he decides to retire right now, is without a doubt a Hall of Famer. And I know there's going to be some people out there say, well, he's a Hall of Famer, but is he one of the greatest heavyweights of all time? In my view, he's top 10. Is he top 5? That I don't think so. But I do think that his overall body of work warrants Hall of Fame consideration. And for Tim Bradley to say that foolishness really shows how little IQ he has when it comes to boxing. So that's what I liked this year. And that's what my thoughts about that.
Well, firstly, with people like Bradley and talking about, what he's had to say, he has already given us sound reason to not pay much never mind to what he has to offer. First of all, he walks around and he lets them folks pat him on the head like he's a puppy or a dog or something like that. And if he ain't learned about what that means and how that represents, then he need to go back to class and kind of figure some things out, because he's in that corner like you with the F's, But what you said about Fury losing to Usyk twice, it was something that I saw coming, because I looked at the pedigree, and I've used that word when I've talked about fighters who have layers of success through their careers, whether it's going through the amateurs and Olympics and transitioning into the pros to championships. Usyk has given us that consistently, but no one really paid much attention to that because he is a Caucasian man from the Ukraine. You see, and though boxing is a very tribal sport, the one thing that you have to understand about tribe is you have to learn what strengths and weaknesses of tribes are. And if you don't acknowledge your own weaknesses within your own tribe, you can never get better enough to compete with the ones that are outside of your tribe. Does that make sense to you? And
Yes,
that's
sir.
also why people misevaluate and assess the talent of others, such as Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol, Israel Madrimov, that guy Oktobak Kolmatov who fought Raymond Ford, and so forth. Usyk. There are so many men. MJ, Murajan, that guy, that the monster in the way don't want to fight. These men come from parts of the world that people are not necessarily familiar with, but they come from something that has always driven the best of fighters in the sport of professional boxing, and that's hunger, the desire to change their living circumstances and have a better way of life for them and their families. You see? But that's when you don't know history, when you don't study anything outside of how to twerk, and how to eat fried catfish, then you don't know these things. It's the real that I kick over here and people get mad about it. But you know what? It's too bad because it's a fact. If you want to change things, you change your mind. You change your ways. You change your efforts. You elevate and become better. And until you do that, you're going to be second class and second fiddle to some of these others out who have enough desire to be better. Yes, you may have natural gifts because that's a blessing and grace from a higher power. But you don't even understand how to take that and implement that and use it to your advantage. Yeah. One moment while I acknowledge this Cash App. We got the brother Eric Jordan back in the Cash App. He says, for the F+, get to the back of the class. You see, now you got people sending me Cash Apps because you came in here messing up. Abel, man, you got to get it straight, bro. You got to get it straight, man. Got to get it straight. What else did you like about 2024 outside of Fury getting his head handed to him twice?
All right. Well, let me give one little tiny comment to the Cash App people. Listen, my bad, okay? I accept the Air Plus, but I got an opportunity to improve the grade. So y'all settle down, okay? Now, my second point. I do think that in the heavyweight division, it's pretty much wide open to me because you can make an argument for so many other heavyweights that could be in the mix to win some championships. But with the exception of Joshua, of course, because I just think Joshua is mentally shot, and I don't think he'll ever get back to whatever was. But I really appreciate watching the Daniel Dubois, evolution. How he's able to bounce back after, getting his eye, tore up apart. And he came back, restructured his entire craft, and he became better. And we did the match with Anthony Joshua and basically knocked him out. And it wasn't a lucky shot. It was a planned shot. And he timed him beautifully. And it really showed a lot about how also flawed Anthony Joshua is and how overhyped he is as well. So I do think that the future of the heavyweight division is very bright. Now, my hope for 2025 is to see Daniel Dubois get his rematch with Alexander Usyk for all the titles and basically redo the fight again because the first time around was absolutely ridiculous. I hope that Daniel Dubois gets his opportunity. If he gets past Joseph Parker, then he gets his opportunity at a rematch with Oleksandr Usyk with all the titles on the line. So that's what I really liked about it. So let me ask you a question though. Would you give Daniel Dubois as most improved fighter of the year for 2024, or would you give it to somebody else?
Most improved fighter is not a award that I had listed in my award show, because in professional boxing that's kind of hard to gauge, simply for the fact that a lot of fights are contingent upon styles, ring IQ, and game plans and preparation. So you can come off looking like you really did something in one match and then come out in another match and look totally discombobulated by what the person does to you. The improvements come through the guys who are prospects making the transition, going from prospect to becoming a contender, and I haven't, set aside enough of the prospects to look at in that manner. But if I were going to give someone that, it would probably go to someone like Abdullah Mason, because though he had been taking care of his opposition quite handily, that last fight that he had when the guy dropped him a couple of times, he still had to find a way to shake that off, come back mentally within the fight, and turn the tables. And he was able to do that, which showed something marked, because he could have fallen apart, or he could have just lost confidence and just went on and found his way going through the paces and win the fight with a decision. But no, he turned the heat up on the guy and got him out of there, which showed something that there's a little more of those logs in the oven burning on those embers. He's got something stewing in that stove. So I like that. But Mason would be one. There might be another one or two to consider along lines, but like I said, I haven't looked at it as most improved fighter. There are other guys that have had performances where they improved, like Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker has improved from well over a year ago through this year, and now he's getting ready to fight Dubois. So what's going to happen there is you're going to have two guys who will come together in February, and we're going to find out if Parker has really learned some things and he's ready to take another step to become a heavyweight champion again for the second time, or if Dubois is cementing his legacy by doing away with him. I choose the latter, because Parker lost a decision to Dillian White. Did you hear what I said? Are you there, Mahari?
Yes, sir, I heard you.
Yeah, he lost a decision to Dillian White. Daniel Dubois is no Dillian White. He's better. He's better. And it's funny because in the UK, they have bias toward fighters as well, just like America. And they don't like Daniel Dubois. He's not a real outspoken guy. He's a guy of few words, but he's got a strong dad in his corner and in his life. And it's something about that they just don't like, plus his appearance. And people don't talk about that, but I talk about it. Drew Titan has heard me talk about it. I've been on his air and shared those sentiments with him on there, but I've been talking about it from my base because I understand what I'm looking at when I'm watching this sport. They're still not acknowledging that man, and he's done a great deal to come back from what they tried to label him as. I never labeled him as that, but they tried that, and he's turned those doubts and naysayers on their end. So, but no, I don't have a most improved fighter, because a fighter can improve, like I said, and get better, but until his career comes to a conclusion, you have to look at his progression from where he started and where he ends. So it's an ongoing process.
Mm-hmm.
I know I was a little long-winded with my answer, but that is something that I hold fast, because a lot of people, they wouldn't look at that way. But, that is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Got you. All right, Stormybman. I just want to personally say, my bad on coming in, a little reckless with the mic and not reading the temperature in the room. I want to say my mistake, and I apologize.
I accept your apology, but it wasn't even about not reading the temperature in the room. You just came in and you weren't. What I tried to say that we were talking about is like you went somewhere totally the other way, and I was like, whoa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I said, what did you like about 2024? I said, leave the complaints to the side, because there's always going to be something that we could complain about in boxing. And I said the complaint list would be greater than your wish list, because we could find so many things. This is about pulling out the best of 2024, what we can say about it, and with the eye towards 2025, and build upon that. Yeah.
Got you. Well, the last thing I'll say before I let either KG or somebody else come home, I just hope that I hope that, for me personally, I hope that Deontay Wilder has a very outstanding 2025 and really show that he still got it. And I hope for Daniel Dubois, he continues to build on the successful year in 2024 and continue to prove the doubters wrong in his quest to become the undisputed heavyweight champion if he gets that opportunity. And for me, my hope is that for 2024, 2025, is that we basically, that we hope that all the drug usage gets out the sport. And what I liked about what I saw from Devin Haney is that he continued to stay on his pursuit, and he never let any of the critics get in the way of what his agenda is and what he wants with his boxing career. So he continues to make us proud every single day. So I hope that I hope all those answers, all those storylines will be answered in 2025. That's what I hope for.
Well, let me add this before you go. Understand that the names that you mentioned, Deontay, Devin, Dubois, there's still a whole smorgasbord of fighters out there to look at, to take note of, to pay attention to their careers and their trajectories of how they're moving, because the sport is an international sport. When you close your mind to what the possibilities are, you are definitely destined to be disappointed, because you're looking at things through such a small scope. It's just like when you're in prison. Sometimes they might have a little window that they could look out. And sometimes the window won't even be angled where you can see something. You might just see the light in the sky. And that's all you can see. Everything else that you can imagine is happening within the imagination. But when you take the walls away and you can see the sky and you can see the horizon, then you gain a greater perspective. Is that not true?
That's very true.
Adopt that for your view on boxing, brother. and you'll find yourself more fulfilled. More fulfilled. And the guys who want to just talk within those small circles amongst the small individuals, let them be. You can leave that behind and grow and fly like an eagle. And they'll be marching around on the ground like pigeons. And you know what pigeons are like, right? Flying rats.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. I appreciate it. Does my F
F plus, man. Get off the phone. You got an F plus today. You can come back in 2025 and try it again. But just know around these parts, you can't hit Stormy with no BS because I'm going to get on your case. Yep. That's the way it is.
All right, Stormy, man. Have yourself a happy new year, man. And hopefully 2025 will bring, outstanding times in boxing. So,
yes,
God
sir.
Bless you, sir. God bless you, OG.
God bless you, man. Happy New Year to you.
All right.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You don't change your grade without studying up for the assignment and you come back correct. The grade is what it is. Until you change, the grade don't change. Always remember that. There's a reason that it says above head here, the sensei, huh? Because it makes sense what I say. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Supreme V's out there tripping. He enjoying that. That's what's up, man. Okay, there we go. We got the good doctor in the building. My man, KG. What's happening, bro? Happy holidays to you.
Yeah, happy holidays, Stormy. What's going on, champ? How's everybody doing in the chat? Oh man, my heart. It takes from my heart.
Hey, you know what? Listen, man, and listen. The funny part is this: he had an out, but he chose to go in there. You ever seen that funny clip? It's like a short on YouTube when the little girl is talking about that. I think it's like it's a wild boar or something, and she's like, "Can I pet that dog?" And the lady said, "No." And she said, "Can I pet that dog?" And he said, "No." He said, "Can I pet that dog?" That's Abel Mahari, man. He come in, wearing shoes with mud on them and everything, trying to walk into your living room on your carpet. And you told him at the door, "Hey, remove your shoes." Huh?
Take your shoes off. Yep.
Yeah.
When I was in Japan, Stormy, like you have to fall in line with the customs, and I guess Stormy B-Man got his own customs. If he say take your shoes off at the door, you gotta take them off. I was in Japan, and we go to houses, and they will ask you to leave if your feet smelled, if you had holes in your socks, or if your socks were dirty. They'll politely ask you to leave the house and mid-conversation. Could you please leave?
Listen, man, I tell you this. Growing up, one of the I don't know about school now because don't deal with minor kids and everything in school, but I remember growing up in school when you had your report card, there was a special item on the report card that would say works well alone as well as in a group, and also listen and comprehends instructions or whatever. There were tons of my classmates that failed in those areas. And guess what? those people become adults too.
Oh, yeah.
And they bring those same habits that they failed. Because those weren't items that would make you be left back. It was your curriculum, you know, reading, writing, arithmetic, all of that. That's what you would be passed on. But that was one of the most important grades on your report card because it showed whether or not you were in tune to the environment and what's going on around you. And if you paid attention to be able to communicate and reciprocate when information is being administered.
Mm-hmm.
Later, after I got out of school, they started talking about ADHD. Well, I didn't know nothing about that because the good old belt or one upside your head or his shoe in your behind from my dad get you on track correctly. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
These other ones that he won't sit down. He won't be quiet. He won't stop messing with other kids. All of that. My parents, one time you got to get a report or something like that, and it's over for you, huh? And you be in this class sitting up there like this, and you and saluting, and the teacher say, "Put your hand down, Johnny," and you say, "No, I gotta hold it up. My dad told me to show respect." You understand? That's how it works. But these guys of today, they don't understand that because they didn't grow up with that. Participation trophy society. You got all these people, they'll say what they say and do what they, and then you done told them what it is, and they still trying. How many times you brothers do your show, and y'all be talking and y'all have your points and stuff, and you be debating, but somebody will still offer up something when y'all done explained it and ran it down. They be in the chat still writing something, and you be like, man, what's wrong with this dude? Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
There you go. This is what I'm talking about. But anyway.
You know what it is, Stormy? We look, I come from the, I may be on the cusp, and I know you come from it. We not only just got the belt, you had to go pick your own demise. So if your dad said, go get the belt, you had to go to the door and pick a belt, whether it was a skinny one, a thick one. You was like, well, which one ain't gonna hurt the most? And they all hurt different. And then your nana or your aunties or something, go out, because I'm from the country, you know what I'm saying, Virginia. Yeah, so go out there and go pick a switch. You be like, I gotta go pick the weapon that you're gonna kill me with.
Yep.
And you had to take that.
Yep.
So, but yeah.
And if you get the wrong kind, the kind that break easy or something, they make you go get another one.
Look, Stormy, my granny used to collect the ones that I used to try to cheat the game with, and she'll save those, and she'll put those in the mason jar and let them soak in water, and then braid them together so they can get them all straight. Yeah. So I'm thinking that, I'm getting away with it. Go pick another one. She's collecting those ones so they can get nice and wealthy, so she can go ahead and braid them together. She'll braid about 6 of them and catch you across the back of the legs with them.
Man, let me tell you something. And 1 or 2 whaps of that, and you fall right in the line, huh? You be like, straighten up real quick. But yeah, man, we're doing this one today, talking about what was great in 2024 for you in boxing. You know, we got a lot of events this year. We got a lot of quality matchups. We had some surprisingly good matchups that came about. And a lot of the guys that we refer to as ducks and guys who are avoiding and this and that, if you notice, as the year went on, their stars began to grow dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. The light on their star has grown dim because it's like you could see the transition, something that I said would be happening. The transition going like they'll be left behind because that's a short-lived period. Some of those guys are now even aging out. Some of them are in their early to mid 30s, it's so funny, man, watching it. It's like, yep. And then when it's done, when that day is done for them, nobody's going to be talking about them. You know how we talk about Leonard and Hearns and Hagler and Holyfield and Lewis and Tyson. Nobody's going to be talking about those guys. Nobody. And they're going to be mad. They're going to be pissed. You know, just like Riddick Bowe is pissed today that, you know, he should have taken that fight with Lennox Lewis. Yeah, and he mad with himself. He's so mad that he want to fight Lewis at 55, 56 years old. He still want to fight the man. Dude, that's done. You messed up, homie. There's no do-overs. But what was some of the, you know, your highlights of, you know, what transpired in 2024? Good doctor.
See, look, Stormy, I understood the assignment, but I came in intentionally wanting to ask you a particular question, and based off of what you just said, it kind of segues to what I wanted to ask you anyway.
Okay.
All right. You came into the year not particularly liking, say any fighter. Who gauged your respect this year? Like who jumped on your radar that you really didn't care too much about them based on how they conducted themselves in or outside of the ring in 2023, but 2024 for some reason you kind of look at them and say, you know what, you give them the head nod now. Who you know, like who made you smile this year that you kind of beat up, you know what I'm saying, in prior years?
Daniel Dubois.
You too?
Yeah, he's won.
I think we all did.
Yeah, he's won, but there's someone else. Let me think, because a lot of fighters are going through my mind at the very moment. Tim Tszyu.
Well, how you think?
Tim Tszyu.
Okay, Tim Tszyu.
Yeah. Because and for similar reasons. Dubois, I found out something about him when I found out more about his background. Because, see, notice that the UK is the UK and the US is the US, but there are still certain similarities because we share the same DNA of history and slavery and things of that nature, which I'm not trying to get into a history lesson on that. But Daniel Dubois has a strong dad in his life. So much to the point that Stan Dubois has an influence and hold over his son that the coach and trainer, Don Charles, has to kind of deal with them as a pair in tandem. But it's a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. It's a little bit different than what Bill Haney has with his sons and other children here in the U.S., but the principles are the same. Tim Tszyu, because I initially thought he was just an opportunist that wanted a chance to get at Charlo because he had the belts. And he knew that would be a quick way toward trying to become an undisputed champ if Charlo chose to fight him or whatever. But then when he fought the other subsequent fighters, like Brian Mendoza, and then, of course, when he fought Fundora, and he even came back and had this fight against this guy that I forget the guy's name that beat him from pillar to post. But what Tim Tszyu had was that was undetected, but it was revealing itself with each outing, is he got something a little bit under the hood there, you know, and it's like, it's a little bit different from fighters who enjoy being put in a position to be successful by matching them well and this and that. He became someone that you appreciate because he went through some hardships and he had some setbacks and he has to come back and overcome. But that vulnerability is what draws you to people like that. Dubois' vulnerability drew people to him. Whether you wanted to see if he could prove that he's not what they labeled him as, like a quitter or whatever, or can he get better or whatever, improve upon what his setback was? Can he turn that corner? Do you know when he stopped Jarrell Miller, as I was watching the fight and that round was going on, in that last round, and he broke through and Miller started breaking down right before our eyes, I was cheering for him.
Mm-hmm.
I was cheering for Dubois. I was like, come on, man, throw some more punches. You got him, And he was doing it. He stepped it up. He stepped to him. He was doing what he had to do. And he finished Miller, and the ref jumped in, stopped the fight. I was celebrating. I was applauding him because he turned a corner that a lot of guys don't get a chance to do. And then when they do have the opportunity, they run away from it or they sidestep it, thinking like, if I don't take that path, I don't have to risk. I don't have to take that risk. I don't have to show that part of myself or whatever. Well, see, that's where AJ messed up. AJ avoided a lot of people he should have gotten a ring with. Well, I won't say a lot. He avoided a few that he should have gotten a ring with, and he didn't. And it wasn't about winning or losing, but it was going to define how good he is or not. When he signed to fight Dubois, I said Dubois was going to beat him. Not because I'm Mr. Know-It-All or anything, but for the things that I just said. And Dubois had his lessons already. And it was an opportunity for that to reveal. And it just so happened, think about it in this term, 96,000 people got to see AJ on his ass for good. I don't mean like for his career, but I'm talking about in the fight, meaning he couldn't get up. He couldn't finish. He got knocked out.
They see him on his ass, Storm. They see his ass in the air.
In the air, yeah. But it was that lesson, that he was trying to avoid it for so long. He could have got that lesson from King Kong Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
He could have got it from someone like Effie Ajabo or Frank Sanchez, other guys that would show him something. And he avoided those situations. He avoided Dillian White, a rematch with him. It was on the table. Remember, they had talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they decided, no, we're going to go this way. You know why they did that? Because White has improved since the last time they fought. But he hasn't. And I said that. That doesn't mean Dillian White is one of the best heavyweights in the world. It means that he's better now than he was when AJ fought him.
And it was his physical strength. Dillian White, though, so what he lacks skill-wise, the man is naturally strong, period. And AJ didn't like those punches he was getting clobbered with him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like that. Yeah, so certain things people don't want to go revisit. And that wasn't like he wanted, like, I think, who's he asking for? He asked about Joseph Parker. It's a different fight with Joseph Parker now, I feel.
Well,
you
yeah.
won't be able to just outbox him now.
And yeah, let's not forget the first fight with Parker. Remember, the referee wouldn't let Parker work on the inside with him.
At all.
No, he wouldn't. Anytime he got close enough to smell AJ's cologne, he was separating them,
mm-hmm.
making them reset all over again.
Joseph Parker had, you know what I'm saying, maybe he's coming to himself. And maybe you and I both notice this. We call out fighters for being on the wrong side of 35. The heavyweights, in my opinion, are only guys that can kind of get away with that. Because the older they get more patient. They understand what's coming their way. They know what pretty much every punch is gonna feel like. So mm-hmm. they kind of more patient. So I don't mind to see a 40-year-old heavyweight. So we talked about it on the heavyweight tier list yesterday on the Akin Oz show that when we got to Deontay Wilder, I said, I'm not a fan of his trainer.
No.
I said that Deontay Wilder has a last gear still in him on the way out, if that's what we want to then call it. But I don't think it ends, you know what I'm saying, it goes, the course goes good under Malik Scott. I don't.
Yeah, that guy. I got him. I got him figured out now, and all it took was, because we didn't know him until the exposure, being around D and all that or whatever, because I didn't follow him or anything like that.
No,
and he speaks a good game when he talks about boxing, and he kind of like gives you the impression of his take on the sport. But a real good coach, trainer, mentor for the sport of boxing is adept at working with what he has in front of him, not turning it into something else, not trying to make it something that it's not, and also not cultivating to the point where improvement is readily seen. He's done none of that with Deontay Wilder. And I know my brother Willie Lowe is out there, and even D might be listening right now. And I don't like that, because the man has talent and ability, and he got so damn far without what was really needed, that this guy comes in and kind of messes it all up. And I am not a fan of that at all. Not a fan of it. Because if you're a true friend and brother and all of that, you put him on to where it can get done. You don't try to assume that role because you feel a closeness and a kinship or whatever. No, if I don't know, good doctor, I'm going to point you in the direction where you could go to get it. Because then your love for me will be greater when you recognize he couldn't do it, but he put me on to where I can get it. And now I know he is my brother. I can trust him. That's what's wrong in our community. See, we can't police one another. And when I say police, I'm not talking in terms of the guys with the badges and the flashing lights. Okay? I'm talking about discipline, where we could say, hey, man, don't do that. Hey, don't go there. Hey, man, you should do this. Hey, why don't you try that? You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing to put us in a better place and space. There's not enough of that. And for those who even offer that, there's a counterproductive movement to try to take that away or put that down or push it out of the way and push it to the side. Because accountability falls into the play of that. And for those who don't want to be accountable, they will then try and act as if there's a threat to them.
Oh, yeah, always. And then you got to look at the aspect of, Stormy, I want you to do real good in life, just not better than me.
Yes.
So I got to make sure I chop you down every time. So every time I see you getting close, I got to figure out a way to chop you at the knees a little bit.
Yes.
And
instead of putting a stool under my foot to elevate me to another level. You got a closet full of stools, and there's a pillar that I can't reach, but one of your stools can help me reach it easily. And you're like, I don't know what you're gonna do, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's my business card concept. Like, I collect business cards. Like, when people give them to me, like people that still carry them, I hold on to them, and I might have something in that stack. I can't do nothing. I have no reason to even call that person. But I come across you and you say, hey, KG, man, you know anything about this? I'm like, no, I don't. And then I say, hold up. I got the card. Call this guy right here. I'm about passing the buck. I'm about, like, we got to check our egos at the door. So if I, like you just said, if I know I don't know something, I got to be willing to pass the buck. But at the same time, hey, you think I can stick around and learn something too? Because I must have missed something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be Mr. F plus. So I think I need to do some extra work. So I need to stay back, and try to get it together. See, and not just be able to communicate, be able to actually comprehend it. So, but I ain't trying to take it on the low note. I'm gonna take it back up. You talked about you're a fan of Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And I've heard you talk about this guy, and you tell me how you like the path that he's on and everything like that. You know what I like better, Stormy?
So,
I like that Robert Garcia got one, and that's what I fell in love with this year. You know what I'm saying? Like with that aspect. Like when everybody talked about Bam, I said me personally, I still got to see something with Bam, but I've seen his activity, and I'm growing appreciation for him, but I'm growing more of an appreciation for Robert Garcia. Though he's been busy all year, but he got one right now. You know how trainers, they got their philosophy, and they want fighters. They got the way they want fighters to train and fight. A lot of guys, Robert Garcia try to make a lot of guys fight the way he wants fought, to have the mindset and the delivery that he had when he fought. And a lot of his fighters come up short. Bam checks off the boxes for everything that he wants to instill. So now Robert gets to actually almost live vicariously through Bam right now, because I got what I've been trying to implement that was me, that I didn't have, and Bam has that extra that I didn't have. And I'm able to pour this into this kid. So I've been watching that journey, and I want to see what it turns into when he actually starts taking on like names, like contending names, and start putting himself in position for contention.
Yeah, Robert Garcia and his boxing academy made my award show Friday night as the trainer of the year. What he has done with fighters from scratch and how he's developed young fighters has been very noteworthy. What he has done with Bam Rodriguez is the stuff of legend in the making. It's like that young man. I talked about him, and I mentioned a former legend and his name in the same sentence because I see some things that are impressive enough to me. And that person was Salvador Sanchez. Bam Rodriguez is exhibiting certain qualities that Salvador did at the time when he was so prominent in the sport, and he lost his life at the age of 23. So we didn't even get a chance to see the best of him because he hadn't even made it to like what would be considered a prime yet. A prime for a guy in the lower weights like that would be about 27, 28 years old, and Salvador passed at 23. So just imagine what was left off the table. But Bam Rodriguez is showing us some things. He's showing us the ability to adjust. He's showing us the ability to move. He's showing us the ability to think. He's showing us the ability to be protective and defensive in appropriate times. The time to be offensive, to learn how to turn the heat up when the opportunity presents itself, not to be reckless. So many things there that I appreciate. And it's funny because as much as you talk about a fighter like a Monster Inoue, right, who's a knockout fighter, he's beating people, he's looking very good and everything. I'm not talking about them fighting each other. I'm giving a comparison of like why Bam is levels above, because he's more complete. He has more dimensions. What happens to Monster if a guy can take his shot? What happens to Monster if a guy can take his shot and box pretty damn good too. What happens to Monster if a guy can take his shot, box pretty damn good too, and can punch too? You see what I'm saying? It's like the levels change, they shift. But with Bam, it doesn't matter because he's complete. He can do everything and deal with everything and still be miles ahead of the other guy. But it's not like it shows right away. It happens during the moment. It happens during the fight. It's very organic. It's like a guy who can solve a Rubik's Cube in a few seconds. You present it, and it's like, you give it to me, and I'm like sitting there for an hour. But you got some guys that can look at that thing, twist, twist, turn, turn. There you go. I'm like, what? That's Bam. That's how he's getting it done, bro. Some people are just good like that. And you have to appreciate what you're looking at when you see it. I don't just appreciate a guy that's knocking people out all the time. What happens when he can't knock them out? What happens when he's damn near knocked out? You know what I'm saying? It's like different things. Yeah. You have to have that. And when people avoid those circumstances, like he don't want to fight MJ right now, Inoue. He don't want to fight MJ, saying that because he lost that split decision to Tapales. Oh, you lost to a guy that I beat already. What kind of philosophy is that?
I'm not really sold on MJ though. I've seen when he fought. Who did he fight? Did he fight Gary Russell?
No, he fought Tapales. That's who he lost the decision to, a split decision. That's his only loss.
No, I'm saying no. But didn't he fight Gary Russell? But he beat Gary Russell. Gary Russell was one-handed, and Gary Russell.
No, that you're thinking about Maxeo.
Oh yeah, Max.
That's the Filipino guy.
Yeah. Look.
Murjan is the guy from Uzbekistan that wears the little tam on his head. He wears that little military tam. Yeah. They call him MJ for short. But he's a strong, bruising type fighter, man. And he's a physical guy. So Monster ain't just going to knock him out like that. He could possibly knock him out. But what I'm saying is he going to have to put some work in with that guy. And that guy going to get his pound of flesh too.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Some going to be, even in victory, some going to be taken away.
Yeah. So, and see, those are the kind of matches you want to see them, not because you want to see one guy lose. You want to see the competitiveness, because that's what's going to bring out what maybe has not been seen yet or what doesn't exist. It's one or the other.
Should we have those kind of fights early on with the upcoming prospects to find out if they're really built to be into this game or not? Or should we just spoon feed them until they get to 10 fights and then try to give them step-ups? Because think about that. What you just said, you need that, because you got to find out if you're really that guy.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to go through at least 3 of those kind of fights throughout their career. At least 3 throughout their career. And it has to be something, whether it's a unification, undisputed, or a bitter rival, or just the actual true term to daring to be great.
Well, Evander Holyfield fought Dwight Muhammad Qawi in his 12th professional fight. Pernell Whitaker fought Jose Luis Ramirez, I think, in his 15th professional fight. So what we're talking about is class fighters, Olympians, fighting for world titles and world elite level fighters before 20 fights. So at some point, when you know you got a guy who can box, he can move, he got a chin, he can punch, knocking people out doesn't become the most important thing. Learning how to beat styles, learning how to beat and overcome adversity. That becomes the lesson now. And see, we don't see matchmakers doing that no more. We see matchmakers putting guys in situation 80-20 fights, 90-10 fights, 70-30 fights. And what happens in those instances, yeah, a guy can keep winning, but he also gets a false sense of confidence because he's not put in a position where he's being challenged. Have you been in school? You've probably even been in the gym where a coach or a trainer or a teacher has told you you're not trying. You're not challenging yourself. And see, when they tell you that, the immediate thought is, how do you know? You know what I'm saying? It's like, but they should know if they're good at what they do. And in this privileged society that we live in now, no one, you heard me say a little while ago about accountability, no one wants to be held to that standard. Because when you hold someone to that standard, if they do falter or fail or fall, they internalize that like they've become victimized instead of understanding that that's a part of life. And the important lesson in this is to overcome. Take that lemon and turn it into lemonade. Find a way to turn the tables on why you had that setback. One of the great lines from that movie, The Dark Knight, when Alfred told Bruce Wayne, "Why did we fall, Mr. Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up." You know what I'm saying? That's pretty damn cool, because that's as simple as it is. If you never fallen, then that's kind of cool, right? But come to Chicago on one of these icy cold winter days and somebody ain't put the salt down, and you slip and you fall on that concrete and you say, "Oh, I think I broke my ass." Huh? A pain you ain't never felt before.
That's how you respond after you get back up.
But those who have been here and who have fallen on that ice, they say two things. When it's ice out there, they be careful when they go. And the other thing is, they remember when they did fall, they don't want to do it again. So it's a lesson. You understand? And that's what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
And that enables you to elevate. A caterpillar goes into that cocoon and comes out a butterfly and flies a great distance from where it was creeping and crawling all that time before.
We got one ready to come out of his cocoon in February, Stormy. The young businessman. My guy out of Virginia, Keyshawn Davis. Under 20 fights, like he just spoke on. The guy's having less than 20 fights and being thrown into. He's fight number 13 for him.
Who is that you saying?
Keyshawn Davis.
Keyshawn
Davis got a title fight coming up. Coming into the new year.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something about him. He's one of those talents, and I noticed this about him a couple of fights back. He's got the talent to exceed from what we've seen of him, but the issue, and it's not an issue, but the thing to watch for is mentally how he's going to handle what comes with what he's doing, because he can be very successful, but if he's not handling it mentally the proper way, he can come crashing. But if we're just talking about his talent and his ability to do certain things, he's already surpassed some of his contemporaries that are around him. And some of them are some of the more noted names. one of the ways that you can evaluate that real simply was how he handled that guy in his last match. The guy came in overweight, came in and he was fighting in his hometown. He had a lot of things going left, and he righted that ship. But you know what's funny about that? I think he righted the ship not because of his personality and things like I got to do, because he's good.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you're good, you can make mistakes, and how good you are can compensate for the mistakes you make. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like you've seen that in other sports, like a basketball player. He may be really good at certain things, but he makes some mistakes. Like he might make turnovers, you know, or he may not get enough rebounds, or he may not look for his teammate, you know, when he should or whatever. But he's still a good player. But it's like these are his weaknesses that you need to work on to make him a better fighter. A better player. So it's you know.
Hold on, Stormy, real quick, Stormy. I'm sorry. So you saying when we go to Vegas, a player that's on your team, he can't go to his left in Mahari, Abel. So you gonna have to right that ship, huh? Because we gonna dog him. I'm not trying to get away from anything, but we gonna dog him. He go to the left. I'm gonna let you know that now.
Yeah, he gonna have to work on that left. He gonna have to work on it. Otherwise, you know, he gonna have to come and sit next to the coach. You know what I mean? And that's one of the worst lessons he can get, because he gonna be mad, lip poked out down to his chin. You know, if he can't be out there playing, but you work on that left, you can get out there and play. He wrote, really? In the chat. But yeah, but you know, that's the thing. And I like that. And I do feel that certain things about him is changing. Talking about Keyshawn again. Now he's like even leaving thoughts that he may want to face Shitty Cuz, which is good, because he should want to face him. Not because they're enemies, not because somebody thinks he's better or not or whatever, but because that's going to bring him the bread, what he's in the sport for.
Let me ask you a question real quick. I'm not against friends, brothers, or whoever, you know what I'm saying, fighting based off of what boxing really is. But how does that work when we got the same coach? Or we work with the same team? Like how do we separate that?
Well, remember, if you have a coach, like that's what I like about what Bomac does. Bomac has a crew of trainers in his gym. You can do that. You can, you know, assign another coach to a guy or whatever. But when it's a one coach deal, then that coach may want to hit another trainer up and say, hey, would you train my fighter for this fight? Or would you train my other fighter for this fight? Or whatever. There's a way to do these things. This didn't just start happening. It's been happening throughout the history of the sport.
But I want you to work my corner, Stormy. You gonna calm me off?
No, it's not about that. It's just that, you know, in other words, for like, if you're a guy that you really want me to work, but I know your character, I know your personality and everything like that, I may make a decision of stepping away based on those aspects of who you are as an individual. Because if you just want me as a blanket, and some fighters do want that blanket, man, because at any given time, in case of emergency, break glass, you got a finger to point when something didn't go your way. If I know that or have any semblance of understanding that about you, then I can for sure walk away and leave you. You know, but if you're that guy that every single thing I've asked you to do, everything you hedge upon my decisions and choices and advisements, then I have to consider that. I have to consider that because now I got to do my best for you. You see what I'm saying? There's a reciprocated process in doing these things. It's not just a yes or no answer, but it has layers of understanding, which is what I just shared with you. It comes down to something like that. That's why these fighters need to, get their ish together, because if they don't, yeah, you can blame someone else and this and that. Like, look at Regis Prograis. Everything is wrong is external, nothing personal, nothing of him. It's all around him. But at one time, he was world class. He was on top. He enjoyed that success. He enjoyed some accolade that came with it and everything. And he grew into contentment of that. And that's probably why he can't get beyond where he is presently, because there's a ceiling for some people. Some people break through the ceiling.
Boxing, almost like NASCAR. You can have the best team behind you, best coaches, best team. You can have the worst team, worst trashiest. You can have the dirtiest people. But it ultimately falls on you once you get inside that ring, inside that car. You got to drive or you got to fight. So it comes down to what you got to do. So like I was speaking about this yesterday, about a lot of guys having, like you said, that safety net with a coach that they can either use as a scapegoat or be able to have them talk them off the ledge. I'm like, a lot of these guys, unlike Usyk, like when we was talking about heavyweights, I said this guy can think for himself during the round.
Yep.
He makes the adjustments while in the round.
Yep.
And pretty much he can put a comma there, so when he gets to the corner, coach, all he has to say, all right, now add this to the rest of it. Okay, cool. You was thinking the same thing I was thinking. Keep doing that. That's beautiful. Boom, 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 boom. Get back out there. Now he's just strung together everything that was just said to him and ties it to what he was already making adjustments toward. A lot of guys can't do that. They can't make those transitions.
Absolutely. And thinking in real time. Because what happens is they have something to draw from. There's another fighter like Usyk that does that, and that's Terrence Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
They're quite similar.
Very few.
They're quite similar in that regard. If you think that Bomac is telling Terrence everything, a lot of things Terrence is doing because of the experience he has. But Bomac's value comes in that he doesn't overstep the boundary of what his purpose is. Meaning, like, if I need to rein him back in a little bit here, or push him and nudge him a little bit there, or remind him of something here, or guard him against something there, that's where that value comes into play. You see? And that's a coach and trainer and mentor knowing their subject. Because they know how to fight. They know what it's like to be hurt or shook or knocked down or whatever. But to be reminded of certain things. Like, for instance, they talk about this dude, Jay Diaz, right? Not Jay Diaz, because Jay Diaz is Deontay's guy. I meant to say the guy over there with Joshua.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Damn, what is it then?
Ben Davison. Ben Davison.
Yeah, Ben Davison, yeah.
Okay, they talk about him being so much so this and that, right? But did you ever hear him say during the Dubois fight, AJ, tuck your chin down, get your hands up. Your hands are too low, bro. Get your hands up. No! He never said. That could have made a world of difference. Do you understand? That could have made a world of difference. A simple instruction and reminder, because AJ probably, listen, he was probably blown away by the crowd and everything. Yeah, he fought in Wembley before, but not in front of 96,000. And with the other guy being the world champ, and with the other guy having a former coaching associate of his in his corner who know all your weaknesses and everything. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we don't know what was going through AJ's mind. We don't.
I know what was going through it. He when the bell rang, I think the 96,000 blinked out because he looked across the ring and seen somebody already with their foot on the floor. A damn Hellcat came across the ring. But when he came, he didn't come with no brakes. He came all gas.
But his hands were down by his chest plate.
Because that's not the Daniel he remembered. He was like, oh, you didn't come across as fast last time. And Ben Davison never talked that man off the ledge and said,
that's what I'm trying to say. Between rounds, because even he almost got knocked out in the first round. But he goes back to the corner, and then he had a couple of more times that he was able to come back to the corner, each time a little more messed up than the next. But never were the instructions of get your damn hands up. That's the beginning right there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I make these ridiculing comments about Ben, I'm doing that on purpose. Because if you're such a darn good coach, you can't coach like we talk about the NBA. You tell a guy, listen, stop throwing the ball away. Let someone else handle the ball or whatever. If you don't say those things, you're not coaching. Stop pulling up for threes. Get your ass in the paint. You understand? You got to say these things. If you don't say them, you're not a good coach.
He's a what's the term? A boxing trainer, like not like a boxing coach. Like he conducts classes where people just do it for fitness. In my opinion, I don't see this guy as being like a full-fledged like coach, trainer. I see him pretty much as that guy that I can hold a woman's aerobics class and teach them and work them, make this into a workout plan. And I've said this about AJ. AJ could be whatever you want him to be, Stormy. I believe you can take him under your wing and teach him your philosophy. But the thing is, once he gets hit, he goes back to factory settings. But AJ would have been the perfect guy. He would have been the perfect UK P90X guy, DVDs, showing, you know what I'm saying, selling DVDs on how to throw punches and how to do it. But AJ knows how to do all that stuff. He just malfunctions once he gets hit. Like I said, he's the perfect specimen. You look at him, you're like, damn, the dude's physique. You look at him throw punches. The guy can make adjustments. I've watched him go to different coaches and show shades of what that coach trains. And I'm like, you swindled him away because you go right back to Ben Davison.
The guy who was best for him was Robert Garcia.
Yeah.
That was the guy that was best for him because Robert teaches the style that AJ is capable of fighting best in is kind of like what Robert teaches. Mm-hmm. It's kind of what his guys do. Bam, how he moves and punches and gets his shots off in this. It's similar to AJ, but he's a very little guy. Robert had said a few years ago that he was never really interested in coaching heavyweights because they're too big, this and that. Mm-hmm. So if it was a surprise to me when he accepted the coaching opportunity to coach with AJ. But I believe that AJ was looking for lightning in the bottle for Robert to come and do a quick solve of his situation with Usyk so he could go out there and win that title back right away. But it doesn't work that way. What was supposed to happen, and I'm sure Robert said this, but they guarded against it. What was supposed to happen was they were supposed to take a couple of fights in between going into a Usyk rematch so that Robert can implement with AJ what he would like him to do. And they can gauge their success by one fight or two fights of, okay, we got this down. This is what we're going to do. We're going to incorporate this and blah, 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 and go from there. But no, he wanted a quick fix, and Hearn wanted a quick chance at getting that belt back those belts back right away, like he did with Ruiz Jr. And he thought that all they got to do is be a little more physical with Alexander and this and that, and they can win. Dude, I knew he was in trouble. You know why? And I said this about both AJ and Tyson Fury. Alexander Usyk is the best fighter that either one of them have fought. He's better than Klitschko. And he's not a career heavyweight like Klitschko was, but he's better. His pedigree is better. So looking at him as, because he's shorter than you, a few pounds lighter than you and stuff like that, you're not looking at the fighter. The guy is a damn Lamborghini, and you might be a Corvette. Yeah, your paint job looks good and your engine sounds nice when you press that gas and vroom, but it ain't a Lamborghini. You understand? It's not. And that's where they made their mistake. And I believe Robert knows that, but he don't call the shots. It's one of the reasons why Emmanuel Stewart, when Lennox came to him and asked him to be his coach and trainer, Emmanuel said, I can do that, but I also want to take over managerial points as well, because in order for me to get you where you need to be, I need to have a stronger role in making certain decisions for you and everything. Fights we're going to take, fights we're going to stay away from, so forth and so on. And it made a difference in Lennox's career.
Klitschko would have been stopped 5 more times in his career if Manny would never jumped in.
Exactly.
So Klitschko was good, but Manny was the reason for the punch hold.
Yeah.
Punch hold, because he taught him how to hide the chin that he would often expose after he started gassing.
And notice that he was pretty much bigger than most of his opponents. So when he holds them, use strength in those clinches, meaning that you hold them tight, you pull them down, you pull on them, and you use your strength in that way, because the physicality that he's going to exert is not the same as the anxiety, which will burn up stamina trying to avoid guys and get out the way of punches and stuff like that. So yes, so you train a certain kind of way to have a certain kind of presence. And that's how he made, because listen, technical wise, he was always in trouble, Klitschko. When he fought Corey Sanders and Corey Sanders knocked him out, it was like he didn't know how to fight a southpaw. He didn't know, and he got ate up by Corey Sanders.
See, but where Klitschko differs from AJ, he didn't mind the work ethic. Like Usyk could come over and train with trainers here, wouldn't mind the work ethic. I don't think AJ, once he came to this side of the water, I don't think he liked the work ethic over here. I don't think he liked what DJ was and still, you know what I'm saying, was putting him through, and I don't think he liked what Robert Garcia was putting him through. He didn't stay on this side of the water too long. Remember, he was riding around in convertibles, listening to Tupac and saying he's this, that, and that, and he didn't stay here long. I don't think he liked the work ethic. It was too much for him. They're too soft over there. And I don't like to knock those guys, but they don't spar the way we spar over here and train the way we do.
Yeah.
It's different.
Well, there's definitely a culture shock when it comes to the application of what's being done in the gym. But it also falls on whose gym you're in. What I didn't like was him coming over here going to several different gyms like he was test driving cars, and if I ran a gym, like if I was Ronnie Shields or Derek James or one of the other coaches that he went to, I'd be like, he'd be like, hey, I'd like to come and check your gym out. I'd be like, we ain't got time for that. No tire kickers around here. You know what I mean?
That phrase is disrespectful in gyms.
I know.
I come to check it out. I come to check it out.
Yeah.
You what?
Yeah.
You come to do what? Yeah.
So get out of here with that. No, we don't operate like that over here. And that would be the rule of thumb. So you have to have, something. And see, that goes along with that when you're a coach, that you set a certain precedent for respect and discipline. And your fighters have to follow that. AJ was kind of like writing his own ticket. And I did hear that he and Robert were clashing. I heard that he and DJ was clashing.
Mm-hmm.
But see, he wanted to learn some of what they do and how they do, and he probably took all of that back over there and told Ben Davison what they did, and Ben Davison was probably telling him, well, that's good for this or that, but you don't have to worry about that, AJ, because we can do X, Y, Z and this and that, all of that kind of, because I'm like, come on, man, that's, that conversation took place.
Yeah. Yeah. Or he came in, and as soon as he came in, Ben started rubbing his hands together. He said, hey, what they teach you? What they teach you?
Yeah. And you know what else?
He got excited.
You know what else? That fight with Otto Wallin.
Mm-hmm.
You remember how they was talking about AJ's performance? That, the old AJ is back and this and that or whatever. And I was like, dude, he just fought a guy he knew really well, who used to spar with him, who he probably beat up on in the gym a lot. And, it's like,
not a puncher.
Yeah. And then Ngannou was nobody. He did exactly what he was supposed to do to Ngannou. Because Ngannou, if Ngannou hit him with something, that would have been some shit. But he never got the chance because they prepared for that. They had AJ prepped on, like, the guy, he's going to be wide open. Even if he throws a shot, he's going to cock it. He's going to do this, to do that. All you got to do is be waiting. And he did, and he got him. But against Daniel Dubois, it took him 5 rounds before he really landed that right hand on Dubois.
Mm-hmm.
He threw it a few times before that, but Dubois was prepared for it. But he hit him with it in that 5th round. But that was the beginning of the end for him, because when he rolled in there to try to follow up or whatever, Dubois nailed him and got him on out of there. What he was supposed to do to Dubois was try to box him. And I say try.
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah.
Because you want to... One thing I give Dubois credit to, he doesn't seem to run out of gas late in fights. He seems to be a well-conditioned kid. So... AJ was going to have to box the guy and wait for opportunities, but not get in there and try to show, all that chest beating and all that. That don't mean nothing, man.
No. If the fight wasn't working, he was supposed to. I'm big on creating traffic with the jab. Jab don't got to land, but if I can create that traffic and make my opponent constantly have to move his head. Now I'm giving the damn thing to the ball. Now he has to not be stationary when he throws his punches. Now I can try to get away from him and with rounds. And if Ben Davison is giving me proper tutelage, I can find a way to work him from the outside and box him into a fight that I want to get in and stop him from trying to fight me. None of that was put on the table. None of that. No foot movement. The man ran up into his chest and stayed there.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't matter. But like I don't know. Like I said, AJ, like he's the perfect guy if you want to show a demonstration. But not a guy that gets in because, like I said, he feels himself. You seen him with the press conference. Daniel Dubois said, "You want to go right now?" And he said, "Don't ever disrespect me. You're trying to come at me." I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Y'all have a fight. Y'all have a fight. I'm supposed to talk to you the way I'm talking to you right now. I'm not supposed to put you up on some kind of pedestal. Like I said, AJ had been put up on that pedestal, so he figured he was him without actually having to go through the gauntlet to develop himself into being him.
Mm-hmm.
So he could, like, and then don't get me wrong, AJ could have been that guy. But like I said, he never went down that journey. You know how you come up to the crossroad and you see the dark, gloomy one with busted glass and everything to the right, and then you look over to the left, you see sunshine and rainbows. AJ went down sunshine and rainbows with a transparent view, looking over to the other side, so he can actually write in a storybook saying that he lived that life on that other side. You're like, bro, that wasn't your path.
Yep.
That wasn't your path. So you got to embrace who you are. But I'm going to let you go, Stormy, because we didn't got away from celebrations. We got away from celebrating and talking about, like, and look, so look, we gotta cut Mahari a little slack and take the F+ away and just give him a D- or something.
F+, man.
Because I know he came in and went left and then celebrating, and we came in celebrating and talking, and now we didn't kind of.
No, we did. We did.
We're not complaining though.
We did speak on, but yeah.
Yeah, we're not complaining though.
This is the thing. This is the thing. Talking about the improvement. 2024 gave us more of competitive matches. Thank you to Turkey Al-Sheikh and his Riyadh season events, his Day of Reckoning cards, his 5 versus 5. Even the trailers, the advertisement for the events, they were excellent. Made you excited to tune in. The rematch between Usyk and Fury, that trailer was damn good. It was like kind of like a horror film type deal, where somebody is venturing mentally into the abyss. It's like they both were having these visions of each other. That was so great. That concept, that was really crazy.
You know where I think that idea came from? From Usyk. You know how Usyk says, "Tyson Fury, I would never leave you alone."
Yeah.
that one phrase, I would, and Usyk probably didn't mean it the way we took it and laughed. Usyk meant in the fight, I'm never going to leave you alone in the fight. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to leave you alone. I'm always going to be busy. I'm always going to be showing you something. So that's the diabolical mind of Odozanic Usyk.
Yeah. And that was great, man. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was very great advertising. And I can't wait to see what's next.
Yep. We got a good year coming up, Stormy, because we already got a 5 versus 5. Well, no, not a 5 versus 5, but we got a stacked card coming up in February. We got a good super middleweight fight between the Battle of the Davids. So we got.
Dude, January is kicking off some fights. Mm-hmm. Listen, I did a show Thursday night that was a look ahead to 2025, and I talked about all the fights in January and February. And we just had one this week added to the February that wasn't there when I did my show Thursday night. That's Jack Catterall is going to be facing Arnold Barbosa Jr. February 15th.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah. I got a video coming on it on Tuesday. I did a video about it. So, you see what I'm saying? It's like, dude.
and look, Stormy, I just said that to somebody. I said, boxing is not waiting for anybody. You remember when they were talking about It was talking about Virgil Ortiz was supposed to fight Boots. And when Boots said, nah, I wasn't going to 54, or I thought he was saying 47, the next day, that damn Boots' face came off that card, and Israel Madrimov face went right onto that card.
Yep.
like instantly, like boxing is not waiting for anybody right now.
Dude, these guys they're gonna learn. You understand? Mm-hmm. They're gonna learn. Tank Davis is getting ready to get a huge lesson because this is like the way that they've been eating is not the way that meals get divvied out. It's been a you know how they say get it when you can, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That's what been happening over there with PBC, to get it while you can. It lasted a little longer than was forecast, but what was forecast still eventually ended up happening. And see, that's the thing that nobody wants to admit to. Because Fred from Barbershop Conversation, shout out to Fred. Some people like him, don't care for him or whatever, but I have no problem with Fred. Fred is cool with me. But I'm going to tell you, he said a long time ago that he hopes that those guys that are over there with the way things are being conducted, that he hoped that they have their affairs in order because it's not going to last forever, that what's going on and how it's going down. And he was right. Mm-hmm. He was right. Mm-hmm. And now you can see where Queensberry and Matchroom have consolidated on DAZN. Listen, they can make them fights in-house now easily. Mm-hmm. And they can take the best of U.S. talent and bring them aboard because there's nothing over here to help these guys. And Top Rank is getting out of the business next ESPN next summer. July.
Yeah, they'd be messing with the zone. So in the zone house. What do you think about that? Everybody under the same umbrella, except PBC.
Well, I think like this. The way it's aligning is going to possibly make it even easier for there to be a commission or something get developed. Mm-hmm. That's how you have to look at it overall. Because if you have everybody under that same umbrella, with the exception of a couple of different promoter groups or whatever, but the main ones are going to be like that, aligned, because Golden Boy is thinking about it. He's already putting shows on DAZN anyway. Mm-hmm. Listen, a commission and a board can follow easily.
Real easy. Real easy. Yep. I look back on when we had promotional companies frowning on DAZN. I'm not going to no streaming service. That's when HBO and Showtime was still doing anything in Fox. I'm not going to no streaming. Why would I go to a streaming network? That's not going to be smart. And DAZN has been pumping boxing, whether you want to see the fights or not. They've been pumping it.
And I don't know. Do you have DAZN?
I got to get it now. I was against it. Okay. I was one of those guys that was against it.
Okay, check this out. About a little over 4 years ago, Kurt Sugar, my brother, dearly departed Kurt, he and we got it around the same time. I think he got it a few weeks before I did. And I said, man, I'm going to go ahead and get DAZN because they got boxing over there. And what they started out doing was they were taking some old fights from HBO and stuff with name fighters, Canelo, De La Hoya, Floyd, this and that. And they were putting it on the network, where you could go through the menu and pull up, old past fights or whatever. I thought that was a good thing. Plus stuff that AJ was doing, present guys. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay. And me and Kurt, we had conversation about that. Kurt was like, man, these guys talking about DAZN ain't nothing and this and that. He was like, screw that. I love boxing and I'm going to watch me some boxing. And I said, Kurt, I feel the same way. Fast forward to now. KG, you can pull up DAZN. There's freaking fights almost every day. Like, even if it's a different part of the world. And they got these little cards with these little young dudes that become guys that you end up seeing on undercards and stuff. Dude, There's over 150 fights they're doing a year.
That's crazy.
But and when you hear me say on my lives, and I say you got guys out here talking about boxing is dying and this and that, I was like, I'm always dispelling that. I was like, you just got to watch boxing, man, and stop looking at the same 8 dudes all the time. Boxing is an international sport. There are people out there that can kick ass that you don't even know about, and that's because of the small-mindedness of how the sport is covered. If you look at my facing page on my channel, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about, and I ain't talking about drama stuff, but I'm talking about, like, you know, talk about the ladies, talk about the guys. I got a video premiering tomorrow morning talking about CBS, Chris Billum Smith, and how he, you know, dealing with his loss to Zerto, and, you know, him personally talking about what that fight took him through and everything. That's one. Then I said on Tuesday, my premiere is Catterall and Arnold Barboza Jr. They're fighting, you know, February 15th. Wednesday's premiere is the guys from Talk Sport Boxing. They talking about what should be next for Tyson Fury after losing to Usyk, and should he go on into a fight with AJ and this and that. And I'm talking about the fact that they still talking about Tyson Fury like I say Dan Dubois and Alexander Usyk, they're the men right now. And you guys are still overlooking those guys, and they're right in front of your face. You know, so I'm talking about different things, you know what I'm saying? But you can check my facing page. You don't see nothing on Tank Davis. You don't see nothing on Shakur Stevenson. You don't see nothing on these guys that always, they keep talking about them all the time. You know why? Because there are places you can go for that foolishness.
Yeah, that's true.
But I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that.
That shit's exhausting.
It's foolish. It's like, why am I talking about those dudes who are not doing anything, and you got all these guys that are doing something? Like, you've heard of Christian and Billy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your guy.
but who was the first one to mention him? And I'm not trying to.
I heard it from Oddfellas.
And I'm not. Well, Oddfellas, excuse me, is there with him. He's in Canada, right? So he knows about him. But what I'm trying to say is this: the whole point, like, even with me talking about Zerto and guys like that, man, I be going in talking about fighters because they're in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I talked about Dillian White, you know, a couple of weeks ago when he had that fight. It was on a Sunday.
Against Ebenezer.
Yeah.
Ebenezer.
Yeah. But not because I think that Dillian White is all valuable, but it was a fight and it was a card that should be covered because White has been a name in the mix. I've talked about Denzel Bentley. I talked about David Adelaide. Man, it's like people, you know what I mean? Personalities. And
evolving.
And let me tell you, and let me tell you this, Sergey Bohuchuk, listen, that performance that he put on a couple weeks ago when he fought on the undercard, man, I talked about that being a personal direct message that he was sending to Virgil Ortiz and
I laughed when I see that.
and Madrimov, because he felt like he should be in one of the fights with them. He should have either got a rematch with Virgil, or it should have been Madrimov that he faced that pulled out with bronchitis. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the real stuff there, man. That's the real meat.
And you know what he did? He didn't do what this generation of boxing is doing. He didn't go to Twitter and tweet about it. He didn't go live and talk about it. He got into the ring and fought it out. like I said, I tell my daughter that all the time. She said, somebody said something. I don't care what they said. Get them on the court. And you ball them up on the court. I guarantee that what they said turns into a whisper or they shut up.
Yep.
This is a hurt business. We don't worry about what's being said. No, come beat me up. Come beat me up. Or I'm gonna show you how I beat people up, and I let that do the talking for me. That's what we got to get back to. These kids are talking too much. I want to see more. I want to see less talking going into 2025 and more action. More action, because with Turkey Al-Sheikh producing the train that he's then producing right now with the high level fights that's going on, these guys are gonna have to get in line with that, and that talking is gonna have to quiet up because they're gonna have to spend a lot more time in the gym polishing their craft, because they're going to be put in 50-50 fights, 60-40 fights not in their favor, 70-30 fights that's not in their favor, and they're going to have to show and prove.
And I'm telling you, man, it's like the year is kicking off. Like I said, there's like 3 cards in January. There's like 4 or 5 of them in February. We ain't even got to March yet, and it's like it's going down. But the zone and their fights are increasing because Queensberry will now be with them as well. The only one that's not with them yet, but is a collaborator with them on Riyadh season events, is Boxer, and that's Ben Shalom's company, of course. And that he's slowly coming along with them because, you know, he's got to work with them. But yeah, everything is gonna be looking up. I mean, that Jai Opataya fight, that kid that he's fighting, that David Inika, I think he's an Olympic silver medalist from Australia, another one of those guys with that background that Opataya has and everything. Listen, man, those guys are going to fight, and it's on a Wednesday. And it's going to be about 2 in the morning that fight is going to be on. I'm like, man, I'll catch that after I get to work. I'll put the zone up on my phone and watch it on my phone. But, yeah, they'll be fighting about 2 o'clock in the morning, man. Wednesday in January. Okay. So,
okay.
But I'm telling you, there's plenty of boxing. There's plenty. And all of these things that... And how about OTX? Were you aware of what they did with their with their tournament as it wrapped up at the end of the year? They had put an incentive in their bouts that the first and last round, if a fighter get a knockout in the first or last round, they get an additional $100,000 on their purse. Did you hear about that?
Okay.
Man, you should have seen them guys trying to knock each other out. But it was like competitive, you know what I'm saying? It's like dudes were going for the gusto, man.
It cancels out the fill-out round. You like, damn, I'm trying to go ahead and fill this guy out. Nah, you ain't got no fill-out round.
No, it's like, hey, it's competitive, man. It's like, you know, I love that. Or you could be down on the cards and go for a knockout in the last round, you know. And not only if you get the victory, you get that extra 100,000. Shoot,
you get an extra bonus,
man. But see, if that's what it takes, now it shouldn't be that way. But if that's what it takes to make these guys mix it up, so be it. I'm gonna be there to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
They got to stop talking. They're going to have to stop talking and start fighting. And like I said, a lot of these guys, they're going to have to really go to the lab a lot more often or a lot sooner than they would like to, because, like, I think the boxing needles really be pushed going forward, where you're going to have to really show up. You can't just talk and say, I was that guy, and everybody knew you for 2 years ago for going on a spree of this, but we look at your resume. No, you got name on top of name on top of name now. Whether they're top 3, top 5, or top 15, you're gonna have to see guys now, and not have to be able to reach back to and fight a guy that's number 47 or something.
Right.
You're not gonna be able to take soft touches. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be minimized soft touches going forward. You can't just get a soft touch no more.
Yeah.
Only soft touch you may be able to get is if you lost and you need a confidence builder. But other than that, I don't think you're gonna really get to see too many soft touches going into the future now.
Right.
Because there's too many big fights being built.
Right. So that's what's up, man. I'm enjoying the fact that we, having boxing like that, and it's just like before I went live, I pulled up ESPN, and I was getting ready to watch. I had started to watch it last night, Bitterbeef and Bivol again. I started to watch the fight again. I had it on my monitor, and I was like, well, I'll just watch it after I do the show. But again, I love having access to all of this boxing. I love it, man, because there's fights now that I don't see because I had to go to bed or get some rest or had some other errands to do or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but there's so much now that I love that. You know what I mean? That's just like if you're a college football fan, you could watch a day full of football on television, right? But imagine if it was just the team that you follow and whomever they play, and that's the game of the day, and that's all you get. It's like, no. Well, boxing is not like that now. If you got the zone, you can watch plenty boxing, man. You can watch plenty.
And look, Stormy, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you go. You came through many generations, and you just broke down how you got a network where you can watch as much boxing as you want, when you want. You remember, I came in on the cusp, but I know you remember if you couldn't make it to the fight, you had to listen to the fight on the radio.
On the radio, yep. On the radio.
And you guys had to have a very, very vivid imagination to try to hear somebody, the commentator, say, oh, he landed to the left. Y'all going crazy because you think you can see that left hand land.
Well, also, the commentators then, guys like Don Dunphy, they were the best at calling the play-by-play because they gave you what was really happening, not what they think, not what they like or whatever. They were telling you the action as it took place. There are fights where there's film of fights and there's audio from when it played on the radio. And if you play it side by side, you'll see that man calling the action exactly like it happened. And he is not adding to it like Jim Lampley would do on HBO or whatever. It's like he's just telling you what happened. And it was really a different time in our society. What Tim Bradley and Joe Tessitore and those guys do now, or that guy Chris Mannix on The Zone and those other idiots that sit around, it's like they make it about themselves and whatever, and they almost make it like it's disgusting to listen because you want to hear the sound, of the punches landing and stuff like that, but they make you want to mute the damn audio for their horrible take on things. Do you know, it's funny, I listen to them. Like I said, I got that video coming Thursday morning. It's going to premiere about Tyson Fury again. And I've had like several videos on him and Usyk because there's been so much of a tale surrounding the event and their fight. But they talk like Fury got robbed. And I'm like, dude, I scored that fight 9-2 with 1 even for Usyk. It was like, I don't know what they were looking at. Because just because Fury was a big presence in there, he wasn't doing anything.
No, he wasn't doing anything.
And he wasn't trying to go out there and win the belts back. He wasn't. He just was kind of in there. He was just kind of in there. And I'm sorry, but you come in there all fat and flabby and all of that, looking like you look, dude, nobody's giving you anything. But because he's from the UK writers and scribes, they're all talking about it like, well, if only, it could, it was kind of harsh. How was that harsh? What's harsh is what he's done to other people, the cheating and all of that. It's like, and what he did to Vladimir Klitschko was a disgrace. The man gave him a title shot. They had a rematch and everything, and he just weaseled out of the rematch with the guy. He just weasel out. And it's like, that's not cool. Deontay ended up taking the guy to court for his rematch. You see what I'm saying? It's like, this guy's been doing this foolishness all this time. And now y'all want to talk about, oh, it seems kind of harsh that, the judges didn't score it for Fury. No, why would they score it for him? He didn't win the fight.
He didn't win the fight.
He lost.
He looked worse in this fight. Yeah, look, he didn't get hurt the way he did in the first fight.
Right.
He looked worse in that fight. He looked worse.
And he looked worse in appearance, too.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody in a so-called class fight come in there looking like that. He looked like a big old tub of lard, man. He should not have been allowed in there.
He said, I can come lay on this man. And I'm like, you're telling me you're overlooking the fact that how smart this man is.
Or how good of a fighter the man is. You getting fatter ain't going to help your ass.
That's not going to help you.
And since when did leaning on somebody become a key to victory? It has nothing to do with boxing. He was leaning. He could lean on the ropes, to support his fat behind. It's like, where do they do that at, man? Seriously. I just don't understand. And when I talk about this stuff, people get mad or whatever, but I don't care. It's like, listen, Evander Holyfield was basically 208, 206, and no more than 212 pounds for most of his career as a heavyweight when he was in contention, when he was champion in contention. As he got older, he put on a few more pounds. 218, I think he weighed for Alex Stewart in their second fight, their rematch, and somewhere up there. Yeah, he but I'm just saying, and Mike Tyson in his prime, he was always anywhere from 216 to 218. When he started slipping and getting out of shape and stuff, he was going over 220. But again, you see these guys. Lennox was always 230, 235. Before Emmanuel Stewart, after Emmanuel Stewart, he went from 245 to 250. Because Emmanuel wanted him a little more solid on his feet and everything. Emmanuel knew the chin was kind of, so he wanted him to be
good at hiding what you then was weak at.
There you go. There you understand exactly what I'm saying. So, but again, this is what we're talking about. Consistency. Fury has only been consistent with being a problem, and not a problem in the ring, but a problem for the sport. And I don't celebrate anyone like that and doing those kind of things, because it leaves a lot to be desired, man.
Yeah, it does. And now he's lost twice and doesn't have a belt and a leg to stand on, he can fizzle out, and the UK can still clamor for the fight that they've always wanted. Regardless what these guys' records are, win, lose, or draw, they were going to want the AJ and Fury fight either way. We don't have to want it on this side of the water, but I knew they was going to want it over there.
And I got a hell of a title moniker for them. Battle of the Losers. How about that?
Battle of the Losers. You gotta pull your thesaurus out and find another word for losers, so you can make it sound real catchy.
Okay. Battle of the Losers. Battle of Fury and AJ. Another word for losers, Fury and AJ.
The Battle of the Fallen. There you go. Man, you had a good year this year too, Stormy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? Whether I was on camera with you or doing with, I'm starting to see people really like when we do this call-in. So, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So doing this going forward, you know what I'm saying? Man, we've had a pretty good year, and looking forward to what next year is going to do. And this is my last call-in of 2024.
Yeah, last call-in show of 2024, and next year will be just around the corner, coming Wednesday. And we got to do another collab, too. Oh, yeah. One of those Thursdays. If you're available on Thursday, one of those Thursdays would be great. That way we can do a show where we talk and highlight, what's coming ahead. So that'll be great.
Everybody in the chat, everything Stormy just said. If y'all keep up with his channel, he's already got that channel, that show that he's trying to talk about right now that he wants us to put together. It's already been put together. I just ain't scrolled through and seen what the date is yet. It's in his upcoming list right now. I guarantee it's already pinned in. He got a thumbnail for it and everything. So I don't want to know the future, Stormy. I'm going to wait till it gets here. Let me know when we get close to it.
Yeah, I understand that, bro. I understand totally. So, but yeah, that is about how I be working it. But I don't have it up yet. But just know, even the brother Boxing and Barbecue, he know. I tell him, I say, hey, I've been thinking about a show, Boxing and Barbecue, because we do Dine and Dish together sometimes. And I say, you just let me know, and boom, 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 and next thing you know, it be up in the thing. And it's like, oh, there it is. But you know what? That's why, listen, can't nobody say, oh, I didn't get a notification. Huh? Because it's like, if you watching the channel and everything, you watch my community page, I have the information right there. It's like, that's why when Mahari came in earlier trying to say, oh, well, Stormy, my bad. I had already laid the ground rules. That's why it's F+. Because you can't, if I left you room to finagle through, that would be different. But there was no room, man. It was tighter than Oprah's waistline. You understand? It's like, woo, yeah.
I'm going to let you go, Stormy. You know what I'm saying? This has been another good one. Salute to you. Salute to the chat. You know what I'm saying? For everybody still staying tuned in and listening. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and get my day going because we got a show. We got our show. We have pound for pound and heavyweight list, usual suspect style. We're going to break our list down today. I want to say 4:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, that's what's up. I'll be out there in the chat.
Okay.
All right.
I'll talk to you next year, Stormy. See you next year, champ. See everybody everybody in Stormy chat. I see y'all next year if y'all ain't already coming over to Supreme Beach Boxing Talk.
Yes, sir.
Y'all. All right.
Appreciate you, man. Take care.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace. Man, what a great call there. Great call by the brother KG, the good doctor. Yeah. See, this is what we do around these parts, man. We be working. So now, with that being said, guess we can hear from my man, the Focus Ball. Right?
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit. Making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the Focus Ball now.
Yeah. So we've come to the end of another Answering the Bell call in. Today we talked the year 2024 was great in boxing. And it was. And we have higher hopes and expectations for 2025. So as we venture into that new year, I wish everyone a happy and most prosperous opportunity to bring in the new year. Be safe out there, be loving, be compassionate and considerate. Shout out to the mighty LDBC, and we will catch you guys on the other side. Peace.
entertain! Is this not why you were here?